My name is Deborah Beaver, and my connection to the Black settlements of Alberta and Saskatchewan are on my paternal grandfather's side of this family, who was James Moses Beaver. They came to an area called Campsie, Alberta, which is about 150 kilometers northwest of Edmonton. And on the paternal grandmother's side of the family, my great grandfather, Willis Bowen, settled in Amber Valley. And on my mother's side of the family, maternal great grandfather, who was Julius Caesar Lane, they settled in Maidstone, Saskatchewan. And my maternal grandmother, we don't know that much about her history because she was from Oklahoma and she has Indigenous background. We certainly haven't had very little luck in finding much about her. Yeah. So I'm attached to 3 of the settlements of the Black settlers that came from the States in the early 1900s. My great paternal grandfather, he was born in Fairfield County I thought it was north, it's either North or South Carolina in 1867. He married Hattie Miller in Oklahoma in 1894. They left the Carolinas and eventually made it to Texas. I don't know how long they were in Texas, but eventually they ended up in Oklahoma. And of course, as with all the other people that left Oklahoma, it was when things changed in Oklahoma, the Jim Crow laws. So they all left, made their way to Canada. And the family migrated to Alberta in 1910. Registered homesteads in Campsie. The first house that he lived in was a dugout. It had a partial floor. And then in 1936, he finally did build a house. And the house is actually still standing. My grandfather lived in it, and that's where my dad was raised. Or I should say the house was still standing the last time I was out there. Nobody's lived in it for years, but the house has never been torn down. James Moses registered a second homestead approximately 14 kilometers northwest of Campsie in a community called Tiger Lily. And that's where I was raised. I was raised on that homestead at Tiger Lily. We know that when they were leaving Oklahoma, there was people that were already here and had scouted out some of the areas. They came to where there was already someone that they knew of, that they'd communicated with in Campsie. There was actually only 36 families that came from the States and settled in that community. So it was a small group of people that settled in the Campsie area.